We're good. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yep. Sorry. I was just getting back to my controls here. All right. Welcome everybody to our last day of National Blind Sports Week. Tomorrow we're actually going to be celebrating National Blind Sports Day, which will be the culmination of National Blind Sports Week. But guys, I'm very excited today because today is our wellness day for National Blind Sports Week. And I am very excited to welcome Shauna Jatho, who is a nurse educator with Vanda Pharmaceuticals, who's been a proud partner of the U.S. Association of Blind Athletes for a while, here to talk to us, about some, about a specific, um, you know, sleep disorder that really affects a lot of us in the blind and visually impaired community. So, first and foremost, Sean, I want to welcome you to being part of National Blind Sports Week.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate being a part of it.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and just dive right in. So, we've all seen I think a lot of us have seen, maybe commercials or heard about, the sleep thing that, affects, people that are particularly totally blind. But can you tell us what is exactly non-24 circadian rhythm sleep-wake disorder?
Yes.
That's a mouthful.
Sure is. Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. It is a mouthful, very long condition name. That's why it's narrowed down to non-24 for short. And it's basically where our bodies are not living in the 24-hour world that we live in with individuals who struggle with non-24. It's a very rare circadian rhythm condition where our bodies are not aligned on the sleep and wake schedule that most of us who have vision or have enough light perception live in. The three main symptoms of non-24 is difficulty falling asleep at night, difficulty getting a full night's sleep, and or difficulty staying awake during the day. You don't have to have all three of these symptoms, and these symptoms can come and go. With non-24, the symptoms are very cyclical. So there may be some days and some nights where you don't have any difficulty sleeping or staying awake, to the other extreme where you may be up for hours in the middle of the night, may or may not be able to go back to sleep, may have to take naps or struggle to stay awake during the day, or have difficulty falling asleep at night. So these can vary from day to day and night to night. But with non-24, it's very cyclical in nature, different from sleep disorders there.
So, how common is non-24 amongst, people that are, that are totally blind?
Yes, very common amongst individuals who are totally blind. So up to 70,000 individuals who are totally blind may develop non-24. And that's because of the lack of any light perception. But keep in mind, those individuals who do have some light perception may still develop non-24. It depends on how much or how little light our bodies are able to take in and process this light through our eyes to get this signal to a special area of our brain to tell us when it's day and when it's night. And if we don't have enough or any of this light perception, what happens is our body ends up running on its own circadian rhythm timing, which may lead to the symptoms of non-24.
So, how do I, how do I know if, how do I know if I've got non-24? How specifically do I know?
Yeah, so good question. Many individuals who share with me that they've had sleep struggles, they've suffered with this for quite a few years. They may or may not have spoken with their healthcare provider and shared their sleep struggles. And many do not know that it may be a connection there, sleep struggles and their vision impairment. So it's very important to keep track of your cyclical sleeping pattern, this erraticness. Do you have difficulty falling asleep at night, staying awake during the day, or maintaining your sleep at night? If you can start to record this, whether you're mentally recording it even or keeping track of this in whatever way that works best for you, so that then you can have that conversation with your healthcare provider to pick up on, is this the erraticness of non-24? This is what we call subjective symptoms, having that discussion and sharing it with your healthcare provider. There are specific sleep studies that can be done to determine non-24. So it's really important to start up that conversation with your healthcare provider and then go from there as far as a diagnosis with non-24.
So how would you actually go about, or how is non-24 exactly diagnosed?
Yes. So how it's diagnosed there, again, can be subjectively through that conversation with your healthcare provider. But like I say, also there are those specific sleep studies that can pick up non-24. Just to give you a little bit more information here on how individuals are diagnosed with non-24, how they develop non-24, is each of us needs an important signal from the external environment to tell us when it's day and when it's night. And we get this through light. Naturally, we want it through sunlight. We can get it artificially ways through electricity, the lights in our homes, to help to tell us when it's day and when it's night. We get this signal through light. It comes in through the specialized cells of the retina in the back of the eye, which then transmits a signal from the back of the eye to what we call our master body clock in the brain. So our master body clock, that's a lay term, easier term to understand, but the medical term is called suprachiasmatic nucleus. Our master body clock there is to control the timing of our sleep and wake circadian rhythm. That's one function of our master body clock. If we don't have enough or any light perception, what happens is our body starts running on its own time, which may lead to the symptoms of non-24 because our own time is shifting or drifting, which can lead to those three main symptoms of non-24.
So, so if I feel like I've got any of these symptoms, what are my next steps? Do I reach out to you? What are my next steps if I feel like I've got if I feel like I've got erratic sleep, or I'm having trouble falling asleep, or any of these symptoms that you've mentioned? Sure.
I've talked to many individuals. Some have already spoken with their doctor. They've discussed sleep struggles. Many of our healthcare providers are not aware of what non-24 is because it's such a rare condition. So an individual who struggles with sleep and has limited light perception or no light perception, then your next step would be you can contact me directly at 202-538-0396. And again, my name is Shauna Jatho, clinical nurse educator with Vanda. And what I can do is get you set up with a personalized health educator. The role of our health educators is to provide one-on-one support over the phone, where they can send you additional information on non-24, answer any specific questions that you have about non-24, and also help to get that conversation starter going with your doctor. Or we also have specialized account managers, and what their role is to educate all of our healthcare providers out in the community. Going back to that point, many of our healthcare providers have not heard of non-24. So it's important to have our account managers educate and answer any questions that our healthcare providers are going to have more on a scientific level. So that way you have a lot of support here to help you along the way to know that if this may be something that you're struggling with or a condition that you're able to rule out. But that first step, to contact me, I will get you set up with our health educator. And like I say, that health educator can provide as much or as little support for you. But that's what we're here for. It's a very rare condition. We want to increase the awareness so that each of you who are struggling with sleep and are totally blind or have any type of vision impairment can get the help and the resources that you need.
Awesome. And can you give can you give us that number one more time to reach you if we need it?
Sure. My contact is 202-538-0396. And I'm one of 4 nurse educators around the country. We do educate at various events. So when you do have USABA holding events across the country, please keep us in mind that we can provide support on an ongoing basis with each of our other health educators and nurse educators also. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Shauna. I really, I really do appreciate you, coming on and, just chatting with us just real quick about, non-24 specifically. Guys, look, I can, as as an athlete, as someone who has, represented the U.S. at the Paralympic Games, and been a competitive athlete for a long time. You guys, sleep is so important. I myself, I've had struggles with sleep from time to time, and there are just tons of ways that you can help get your sleep back on track. And we're it's so important, guys. Sleep is just part of our recovery process, as athletes, but more importantly, just in daily living. It's hard to emphasize how important sleep is. So we're actually going to be talking a lot more about that, probably in some later videos. But like Shauna said, it's I think just one of the biggest things is noticing when we might be having trouble sleeping, and knowing when to reach out to people like Shauna or your healthcare provider or anything like that. So once again, Shauna, thanks so much for all that info on non-24, and guys, make sure to get a good night's sleep. Let's just and in order for us to do that, we just gotta be aware of our sleeping habits right from the get-go. So thanks again, Shauna. Really appreciate you coming on. You guys, we're going to be posting up a lot more stuff about wellness, about recovery, all throughout the day today. So keep an eye on the USABA social media channels. And guys, once again, remember, tomorrow is specifically National Blind Sports Day. So we can't wait to see all of your photos, all of your videos. We've already been seeing so much stuff posted up this entire week. So thank you, everybody. And guys, anytime you post something on social media this week, make sure you're using those hashtags, hashtag Blind Sports Day and hashtag Blind Sports Week. Thanks so much, guys. And we will see you soon. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep with this little webinar.